I know, Emily, that, at the secondary level especially, I would say there are sometimes, tensions between parents and their children who are sort of wanting to establish themselves and maybe break away from their parents a little bit.
Right.
So do you have any advice for parents and how to sort of navigate those new waters, or how do you encourage students or show them that their parents' input really is important and that they do need to work together?
Well, and I think it kind of goes back a little bit to going back to step 2 and really talking to your students about your values, your goals, and your expectations. You're right, it is difficult. We want our students to be independent and motivated and really have, become themselves and become young adults, but at the same time we need to somehow be able to harness that energy and guide them. And yes, it is difficult at times. And I think when parents and I sit down to try to problem solve a lot of this, we talk about what are our goals and aspirations, what is it for the parent, what does the parent have as a dream for their child, and what does the child have for their dream, and try to find some commonalities. And again, that falls right within our model of communicating, talking about the what you can do, how you can model that, and staying positive. And I think, too, encouraging students to then branch out and find other people in their lives, like their teachers and support people at school.
Right.
To, again, bounce some of those ideas off, help them to gain some of those learning attributes and figure out how to solve some of their problems on their own.
And just as a recap, this is the model that we just went through, and the different steps, and we're going to be having other conversations too later on about going in depth about the model that we just said. But then just going back to what Emily was saying, starting with the secondary level, but it really starts right in the beginning where children come and see their parents involved in their school life in the elementary level, and get them more involved. Yes.
Do you think that early involvement carries on then into the secondary level?
Definitely.
You see that pattern?
Definitely. It's extremely, extremely important.
Well, you've taken us through the 3 steps of the model. What's next for you? What are your plans for the future here?
On our PowerPoint, we've highlighted some things that we're going to be doing next, and one of those things is we're going to be asking parents to, as they watch this video, they may have questions or comments, and we'd like for them to email us, email their questions and comments to us at parentengagement@gmail.com. And so the next time that we'll be coming to speak at Ed Exchange would be answering the questions that are emailed to us, and the questions that they email to us. Anybody who emails us, we will make sure that they are enrolled in a prize. So hopefully we have some prizes that we're going to be giving away to parents who email us. So hopefully we have some really great questions.
And then, so this is what we're hoping to do, is have a 3-part series. So like Yolanda just talked about, we're hoping that our next Ed Exchange could be answering parents' questions, concerns, and comments. We really want to address those using the model and to revisit the model that we talked about tonight. We're hoping then through that will kind of gear our next presentation, and then our last presentation. We're doing 3 in this series. And then with our last one, what we're hoping to do is invite some of the families that we work with to come to the show and discuss some of their successes, some of the hurdles that they've had to cross, and some of the questions and concerns that they still have that they're working through. I think, again, we've talked a lot about our experiences working with parents and partnering with parents tonight, and how we've found this model to be helpful as we've had those conversations at school with parents, but then also using that and having some actual parents
speak about what they've gone through. And I think that it's extremely important to hear it from another parent, the information they have. I mean, we can only give you so much, but other parents may have other kernels of information that will help, help this situation, help you understand more of what you've already been doing. I think sometimes parents forget that they've been doing a lot of the things that we've listed here already, and when they have that information and actually have it in a format where they can see, oh yeah, I've done this, oh yeah, I've done that, and I do that every day, and then having other parents here to say to be able to say, yeah, this is how I do it, let's try something different.
Right.
and to validate all of the things and all the experiences that we're faced with every day, not only as educators but as parents and as advocates. Another thing tonight, Yolanda and I are from 2 specific schools within the district, but there's many family resource centers within the district, and West High also has a career center and welcome center. And so another thing, we want to also encourage anybody that's watching this show, whether you attend City High, students that attend City High, Lucas, to know that there are people within their building that they can ask some of these similar questions, but they're more than welcome to email us and get their questions answered through this show. We want to make sure that we're available to everybody, but to let them know that there's definitely people within their buildings to help support them as they maneuver some of these challenges.
Sure. So you're welcoming questions from really anyone in the district, no matter what school their children attend.
We would love to have some questions so that we can go forward with our second part of our series, and then our third part hopefully will be drawing some names for some great prizes.
Oh, that sounds like fun. That sounds like a good part of the process. Speaking of parent questions, have there been any challenges or questions that have tended to come up throughout your experiences at your schools? What are parents usually curious about, or what troubles do they generally have, either with this model or with helping a new student adjust to a new school, or some other, family or school-related issue?
Right.
I think for the elementary level, I think parents are always eager to find out new ways that they can engage their child, just trying to find out those new ways, because they're, for many of them, coming right into kindergarten, just learning the process of the education process, the academic process, how school works, how teachers, what happens, parent-teacher conferences and things like that. So that's really the biggest thing that happens, on the elementary level, starting in the kindergarten level, briefly.
Would you say that parent-teacher conferences are the primary way that teachers and administrators can communicate these things with parents?
That's one great way, but there are many other ways: notes home, calls home visits. There's so many different ways that in the elementary level that we communicate with parents and engage parents on the school level.
Great.
I think a lot of the questions that we see at the secondary level are more about homework help. How can I help my child?
Right.
What do I need to do to prepare them for their future? And I think ultimately at both the elementary and the secondary level, our goal is to let our kids grow into the people that they want to become and to achieve their goals and their dreams and their aspirations both at school and outside of school.
Right.
And parents continuously are asking questions, I think, that are always trying to get to the heart of the matter, which is how am I going to be able to support my student at home and at school, and how am I going to support their success at school? And so we're hoping that being able to work through this program, using this model, and lots of other models, and working with parents, that we're able to help support and answer questions.
That's great. Well, it sounds like this model, really offers parents a concrete way of helping their students, like you said, get to the heart of the matter, and that is to be successful students and successful adults, later on in life. So, I want to thank you for coming in and sharing with our viewers this model. And again, we encourage all of our viewers to send in their questions, because Yolanda and Emily will be back and they will be more than happy to answer any of the questions you have. So thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Emily. We're looking forward to learning more about your parent engagement initiatives in the Iowa City Community School District. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Olivia Baker, and you've been watching Education Exchange.